about Courtney and Rob, and poor Sam was like, Courtney.
Yeah. Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. And I was just thinking, as I was introducing you, as I said that, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the two mothers of the show. Which
Yes.
Real quick.
Both deceased.
Sorry.
Well, don't, come on now. Everybody, come on. All right, Sam.
Still alive in everyone's heart.
That's right.
Samantha Smith, you take care of this young lady. Show her the ropes.
You got it.
Well, actually, Samantha, I have something to confess to you.
Tell me.
I did not know Mary's fate until I was at a convention, Heroes and Villains convention for Legends of Tomorrow, and a fan came up and said, "Do you know what your son has done?" And I said, "No." And he said, "He killed Mary." I said, "Don't you say that." Lying liar face. And he was like, "No, he killed her." And I said, "When?" He said, "Last night." I said, "Oh my God!" And then like time stopped and I burst into tears and then like, I don't know, Kelly came out of me and I was like, "I taught him better than that." Even though that's not true, but then I was like, I taught him in the womb and I had like a breakdown and I'm really sorry. Oh my God.
I got to be upset when you died too, but I knew it was happening because I was there.
Because you were there.
And then I got to fight with Lucifer because of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, but if it's any consolation, your son didn't mean it.
I'm having a lot of emotions about it. I'm afraid I'm going to fall out of this chair.
I feel really it too.
I know. Has that ever happened? Has anyone just gone? I'll be the first one. Really?
Yeah, it's a little.
Yeah. I'm going to lean to the side and just. Yeah. Just, what?
Of course you did.
I feel much better.
Yes, indeed. Well, I'm so happy.
I'm so happy to be here, finally. I was supposed to do, I think, like Vancouver, the last one that I was working on Legends and I couldn't do it. But now we're all together.
I know. The pre and postnatal mothers of Jack.
Yeah. Thank you for everything that you've
I mean,
done.
if you hadn't born him, I'd still be alive, but whatever.
Oh, me too, right? Aww. I'm very anxious about what's gonna happen.
I don't know. I mean, I have as much supposition as all you guys.
Yeah.
I keep thinking that Jack might be like the big bad
No,
of the next season.
I don't
but
like that.
But now he's in the empty, right?
Yeah.
They have a rock party up there. I don't know.
Oh, I know, it's upsetting. He's good at it. He's like, he is. He did a
Alex,
good job.
Jack is very bad at being bad. Because he puts himself up about it a lot.
Well, because he's good.
Right,
I
exactly.
know he's good. He's good.
He means well.
Wow. Echo.
I know. And wait till you start doing the questions because they come out of boxes and then you can't tell which person's talking. And then I end up just walking in circles.
Yeah. Is that what we're supposed to be doing? Walking around?
You can. I do. I get a little anxious after a while.
I'm getting anxious. I'm gonna sit though. I'm doing this. There. Okay.
Well, do we have some fine young people with questions?
I can't see any, but it's just the light is shining in my face and it's just
like it's
dark
blinding.
We're still here. We're all here. Everybody,
Thank you!
Okay. It's amazing. I feel you. Hello. Hello.
Are you left?
Yeah, okay. Hi, first of all, I want to say, Sam, your line dancing last night was incredible.
Incredible is one word for it, I think.
Oh, there you are. I see.
Okay, so my question is for Courtney.
Yes.
So if Nora and Kelly were like the same person, and she had to tell Ray that she had a kid with Lucifer, how do you think that conversation would go?
Okay, if Nora and Kelly were the same person, so if Nora was pregnant with Lucifer, Lucifer's baby,
I guess so.
and had to tell Ray,
Yeah.
Ray would say, well, how would that go? Nora would just kind of say it, I think, and Ray would say, you know, we can work with this. Like, he'd be a very understanding guy and say, you know, maybe it's nurture, not nature, you know, anything can change. He's the eternal optimist, so I think it'd be okay. Thank you.
Kelly is such an optimist too, so. Nora, not an optimist?
She's been through.
She's seen some stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My question's for Nora. Possessed or pregnant?
Oh, what?
Possessed or pregnant?
Possessed or pregnant, ellipses, question mark?
Preference?
Oh, preference.
By Lucifer, you mean? Or just in general?
As an actor experiencing pretend time, or as... Because as an actor, being pretend pregnant is the foam belly, which actually was the mold for the belly that was worn in Juno by Ellen Page. So it wasn't the same foam, but it was from the same mold. So that was strange because it's hard to sit down and it pushes so on your bladder, so you still have to pee all the time even though you're not really pregnant. That was weird. And then being possessed as an actor is just fun because you get to do the most crazy, just crazy batshit, like you need like a.
She hasn't met Brianna and Kim.
In one take with Neil McDonough, I like the whole side of my arm and was just like, and so there you can play and have fun. And as far as what it feels like, I've never been possessed in real life, so I don't know. I hope I answered your question. Hey, you're just like Constantine.
Exactly.
Right. And that was my answer.
Acceptable.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Hi. I'm Morgan.
Hello.
With both of you being the mothers of Jack, how do you think you would have responded to his death?
You've known him long.
This is what happens. I'm a very strict mother. What happened again? His eyes burned out? Who killed him?
God.
I've got problems with that guy. I think like he needed some guidance, not like death.
It was definitely harsh.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
it's overwhelming. But of course we would have been devastated. I would have been devastated.
Absolutely.
Devastated about all of it.
I'm not,
Yeah. Not good. Not like. No like.
dislike.
There we go. Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I love you both, just saying.
Thank you.
So my question is for Courtney, because I also follow Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
I follow both at the same time. So my question is what's it like being on this set for Supernatural versus on Legend of Tomorrow?
Oh. First, I have to say, this Supernatural will always be in my heart forever and ever because it is the most welcoming and loving and just warm, fun set. One of the most fun sets I've ever been on ever, and the guys are wonderful and Sam's wonderful. Everyone's so wonderful. And to be such a tight-knit cast and to be as welcoming as they were to someone new coming in and, you know, in season 12, they weren't like, go away, you know, stranger. They were so welcoming. I'll always appreciate that and remember that. Legends and Supernatural shoot right next door to each other.
We can wave across the fence.
Yeah. It's just it's either going this driveway or that driveway, and then there's the fence. And there used to be a hole in the fence. I don't know if there's still a hole in the fence. But when Brandon, doing Legends and I was on Supernatural, we could be like, what are you having for lunch today?
You could pass chicken strips through the pool.
You have to go over my side and go through the hole in the fence.
Supernatural does have possibly the best
They
cake.
have, that's the thing.
It's
So
like
if you're like
quality.
coming over to Supernatural thing, right? Oh, I mean,
Just visit.
this will go on the internet, right? This is just between us. Anyway, love the catering. Just kidding, yes. But you know, Legends is different. It's great in its own way. It's an ensemble. It has a much larger cast, and
You know one of the other actors, right?
oh, my husband's on it. So you know that's also a different experience, you know, and wonderful in its own way. I hope I answered your question.
Oh no, you definitely did.
Okay, all done.
Hi.
She started talking and then she didn't stop talking.
Oh, she also missed my panel yesterday. It's about my dogs.
Okay.
Hi, so I got a question for both of you guys. So I'm in this point in my life that I'm trying to make a decision whether I want to be a mom, and with you guys both having Dean, Sam, and Jack, which all had violence, and in my opinion, there's a lot of violence in this world. What is your opinion on motherhood these days?
Oh man, that's a big
We're
question.
both moms of little kids in real life, which probably, if you're considering not having a fake child on TV as opposed to really a fake child, might be more permanent. Also, Dean and Sam are impossible to parent. And as it turns out, Jack as well. We've talked about this, though. We've talked about the...
I think in the middle of like while I was having.
Well, we were sitting there like, yes.
Yeah.
What do you do about this when this happens?
What do you think about? Did you experience this too in real life and not the fake one we're doing right now? He is going to be 7 in August.
Mine is going to be 11 on Tuesday.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I think the world has always been inherently dangerous. The dangers now feel bigger because they're newer, but they're just different. There's always been dangers. We're just maybe more aware of them now as well because the internet is so immediate, in my opinion. And I think you just... I've always felt like it was my job to put a strong, independent, self-reliant human, male or female, on the planet if I'm going to have a child. And so that has been what I have tried to do, is give him the courage to go seek his own boundaries. But, you know, watching like this sometimes, but still letting him push. And because of that, I think he's pretty safe. Because I don't let him run wild, but I talk about things with him. And at a certain point, you have to just trust them. You have until they're about 5 or 6, really, because then they spend more time with their friends and their teachers than they do with you. So I think until 5 or 6, you really just talk to them as much as you can, instill as much like common sense, and don't just tell them everything. Let them figure it out, and then like course correct a little bit. Like, well, what about this? How do you think about that? Because if you don't teach them to think for themselves, and then let them out when they're 15, they're going to make really bad choices because they've never had to pick anything on their own. That's my, you know. Put a fucking tracking device on him. He's got a watch. I can find him anywhere.
Just to add my 2 cents. Ooh,
want like 100 cents.
This is me debating whether or not to get real. If anybody has been to like a Legends Q&A, this is always something that I struggle with because I'm like, how real do you get? But listen,
These guys can take pretty real.
is the world dangerous? I think it always has been dangerous. Being a human in the world, being a mammal is dangerous. So I think, oh God, okay, here we go. Here we go, everybody. I think the biggest, this is just my opinion, but I think the biggest gift that you can give your child, or even your significant other or yourself, is to go to therapy. Okay. Because this is why. We have all experienced traumas in our heart, whether they are, we could have, and I'm talking about our families of origin, whoever, if it was a mom or a dad or any caregiver, a wide array of traumas, whether we feel that they're, smaller than maybe somebody else's who was, beaten every single day of their life or whatever. It's not one is bigger, one is smaller. It's our heart and what has started, right? And the people that did that to us were traumatized, and they're acting out their trauma on us, and the people that did it to them, and back and back and back. And so when they call something like, in families, when there's like systemic, like just this awful dysfunction, this thing that happens over and over and over, right? They go, oh, the sins of the father. It's not this like magical, mysterious thing. It is a trauma that hasn't been dealt with, that is passed down, and it repeats, and it repeats, and it repeats. So if everybody, and it's so painful, I'm not saying any of this stuff like, it's easy, you go and it's fixed in a week. It's not. It's awful. But if you can make it stop with you, even if you've had your child already, and you're like, shit, I'm doing that thing that my mother or my father or my caregiver or whatever did to me, you can still stop. Go to trauma therapy and stop so it stops with you. So apologize if you've done it already. I am sorry, I made a mistake, this is not who I want to be, and let's work it out together. Own it. Fix it, work to fix it. It is not easy, it's horrible, it's the worst dragon you'll ever face down, ever. But if you do, if everybody did it, that's it, man, we've stopped this. That's just something that I've been doing a lot of thinking about just from playing villains a lot, right? You have to get into the mind of somebody who does really bad things and you can't judge it. You have to think, why are they doing this? And every bad guy or villain, they're not sitting there really, for the most part, like, ha ha ha, I'm going to do this bad thing. I don't know what that accent was. They're justified in their own mind. They think, I'm doing this because it's the right thing. I'm doing this for a reason. And I thought, oh my God, everybody has pain, but these villains are taking their pain out on other people. And then, that's not healthy. And then just to take the pain out only on yourself, that's not healthy. It's to get it out, and you look at it in the face, and you process it, and eventually, you dissolve it. That's how you stop it. Anyway, I'm saying anything.
Hello. Hey. So my question is for Sam. So, Mary, do you think it was easier for her to step into a mother role with Jack versus Sam and Dean?
I do. I think, even though he was also like a full-grown person, he was much more tractable at first. Sam and Dean love her, but they're like, you're not the boss of me. In fact, they were like, you stay home, we're gonna handle this. And she's like, no. So there was a lot of conflict right out of the gate, and it was all very confusing. And with Jack, I feel like we didn't meet until the AU, right? And we sort of forged a relationship in that trauma of survival over there. But he also had no idea how to human. He was just sort of this baby soul trying to take it all in. So I think that all of her mothering instinct that she never got to use with her other two, just kind of transference, right? Like
clean slate.
I'm gonna do this one. No, I think try this one. Because those two are, they're formed. Like, I can try to parent them and they keep saying no.
Oh my God, there we are. Freaked me out.
So yes, I thought that all along. Like, there was a time where we were in AU and he wanted to go hunt down Michael, and Mary had a line where she's like, I can't lose another boy. Because I think she was like, and I think that she feels parental towards Castiel as well. But also a full-formed person with their own lives and stuff, and Jack was just so new. And I think he looked to her as a mother as well, as a surrogate, not his birth mother, but as someone who took care of him as best she could. Until married. It just went a little sideways.
I'm not happy about it. Not happy about it.
We're gonna have to stop.
I know, I'm very upset.
Thank you. Oops, she's gone.
So Sam, I remember you mentioning that you love like nerdy stuff and all that other stuff. And this could also go towards Courtney as well. But have you ever cosplayed? And if you haven't, what would you cosplay as?
Have you?
Well, the closest I ever came was during karaoke when they used to have us wear costumes. I think I did Daenerys one time. No, I was Cersei. Sorry.
Ah.
Very different.
Yes.
Rob was.
Yes.
Cosplay. No. Who would I? Probably a superhero of sorts.
Which one? What would your powers be? Like, what?
Fly. I don't know if I would be Wonder Woman. I'm not crazy about like but I love in a second, I'd be one of the other Amazons. I love all that the metal and horse riding. Did they let you bring horses to cosplay?
No.
So we did. I would have said this so many times. I want to be a grounder queen. If they won't let me be one on TV, maybe I can do that.
What?
A grounder queen?
A grounder queen?
It's from the 100. So what happened is, really quick synopsis, sidebar, sorry. So the Earth is destroyed by nuclear war, but each country, like 20 ships or something, sent a pod of people to keep the human race alive. And then all of the ships eventually die out except for this one, who happens to be American teenagers. Or there's Americans and they send 100 teenagers from juvie to the ground. And they can, because the radiation has dissipated. But some people were still on the ground. They survived through the whole thing, and they got black blood because they had adapted to radiation. But they speak in this cool, it's almost like jive or something. It's some crazy language that's been altered into, or what's it called? Like, it's crazy interesting. And
you would be the queen.
Well, but they're in like, it's like almost steampunk, which everyone knows I love. But like, it's a fur and a weird crown and weird markings, and then they're like leather belts and huge swords and wool boots. And
You gotta do it next time.
Yeah.
I gotta have to see that.
It take like 5 months to make one of those costumes. But now Earth is destroyed again on the show, so all the ground queens are dead. And the ones that are still around dress in like
Oh, jeez.
So anyway, that was a long answer. Hey, what about you?
I've never cosplayed, I don't think. I always loved the X-Men. I know that's like, because it's Marvel and I'm DC, you know, but
Once again, nobody's going to ever hear about it.
You won't tell anybody, right? Yeah. This is not going to go on the internet. Yeah, it would be one of the X-Men. Probably.
There you go.
Thank you. Are you a Castiel or a Constantine? I can't tell. I can just see a jacket. All right.
So my question is, being how we said it was the pre and postnatal mothers of Jack, what is your guys' relationship to Alex and also to each other?
Well, we're sworn enemies.
And we bonded through the scene of Jack's birth.
We just sat there holding hands, like even when they weren't rolling, we're like,
yeah. Well, because we're both moms in real life, we both experienced.
And Courtney was living in this world of like vulnerability, right there, like just staying right on that edge because she's, you know, is a mother and thought of like she knows that Kelly knows she's about to die, but she's giving birth to this creature she loves so much, and she recorded all those heartbreaking videos for Jack, and so Courtney's living in this place, and I'm, you know, living in the place of knowing, having had children, Mary's had children. It just was like this. There was so much estrogen on in that.
It was just raw, open-hearted, you know.
You know what I noticed? Like,
what?
All the crew, a lot of the crew.
They were crying.
And they were like, keeping their distance. They were like, just don't bother them. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was really beautiful. So
I had a really embarrassing story meeting Alex for the first time, though. It's really embarrassing. I've apologized to him since, and we've worked together since, so it's all right. But, all right, here we go. So Kelly to me was, and is, just pure unconditional love. She's just love. And in order to, you know, do the season and not be like weirdly hyper aware of this foam prosthetic belly that I'm wearing and like, it's fake, it's fake, it's fake. I just really went hard into the commitment of, this is, you know, this is my son, and I will die for him, and I love him with all my heart, and every day was just connection. You know, for the whole season. And then the last day where I had filmed his birth and my death, Alex was there to film that bit in the very last part of the season where you just see his eyes, he's in the corner and you just see his eyes and he's naked, you know, so he had come to film that, and so I didn't know that, I didn't know he was there, and so I had just given birth and died, and like this, spent hours just like, just crying, and I am in that space. It is full like Kelly mode, mentally and emotionally. I've not disengaged, and I walk into the hair and makeup trailer, and there's Alex sitting right there, getting his, you know, makeup done. And I'm just gonna pause for a second and think about Alex. Here he is, first day actor, first day on a new job. Hello, doesn't know anybody, right? You know, he's not fully, he hasn't lived with his character. He's just starting, you know, we're still getting to know him as we all do whenever we start a new job. So he's just like, hey, I'm Alex, and I'm like, oh my God. And like crying and like snot coming. Hey. Oh yeah, man, it's nice to meet you. And then I was like, oh shit, they're freaking him out. Code red! Stop! To, you know, suck all the tears back and wipe my nose, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, the cast is really nice. It's like, really the environment, you're gonna love it. Sorry, I'm not gonna go weird. Just filmed, you know, your birth and my death, and it's just like, it was a lot, but. So that was the first time we met, and I went home and I was just horrified. I told my husband, I was like, oh my God, I freaked this, get out, and like, oh no. And so it wasn't until like later when we had a chance to like work together and then sit, you know, off, you know, where the actors sit, on the side. And just kind of get to know each other, and he found out I was slightly less weird. That's my story.
I had never heard that. That's amazing. It was different when I met him. Hey, I'm Sam. Hey. That was it. Well, actually, he was, first of all, your emotional availability is beyond. Like, she is just, she's right there, and it's so beautiful to watch, because I have struggled with that in my work, and she does not, and it's inspiring.
Thank you.
And I know that when you do get to that level, and if you have to maintain it for any period of time, your body doesn't know that it's not real. So once you get there, you can't just stop. I mean, we've all said this probably, me and both the boys and Jeff probably, if you asked him. Once we were like crying during that scene in the 300, we couldn't stop because your body just feels it, right? And you could be laughing, like, no, I'm really fine. I'm good. It's fine. It's just, yeah, hi. But especially if you're attaching to something specific like that, and you didn't expect them to be sitting there, and does this happen to you where if I go back and watch a scene where I had to cry, it happened when I went back and saw the 300, and there was a scene where I was being tortured and crying and asking someone to kill me, like that was pretty dark. Every time I see a piece of that scene, I start crying. Like my body goes, oh, we're crying now. Does that happen to you?
Well, yeah, it's like, oh no, remember that horrible thing that happened to us? Like you're like, oh no, that.
Your body feels like it was real. Even your brain's going, not happening. You know, this isn't real. And it's like, yeah, it is. It's really.
It's this weird thing that actors have to do, almost like hypnotize ourselves to
believe.
Suspending
disbelief.
To have at least some part of your mind and your heart to in order to feel those feelings that you have to believe them and have to be genuine. It's good on set. I'm glad I have an understanding family. This one time I was in a show that I loved so much, and I was a huge fan of it before I got the wonderful opportunity to be on it. I don't know if you watched Parenthood. But oh God, you have to understand, it was my favorite show, and I wanted to be a Braverman so bad. I wanted to live in the house and be a Braverman, and then I got the opportunity to my character to date one of the characters, like, oh, maybe I will be a Braverman. Oh my God. And my husband knew how much I loved the show, and then one day, 4 months in, I was getting my makeup done, and the makeup artist goes, oh, I'm so sorry you have to leave. And I went, that's okay. What? And she was like, yeah, because I don't know if you guys watched Parenthood, but the character that I was dating, Crosby, he ends up getting married. He goes back to his ex-girlfriend, who they have a child, but he marries her. And I didn't know. And they're like, yeah, because we're filming the wedding and, 2 episodes. And I was like, inside, I was like, the wedding! And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, oh, well, it's been great being here. And I went home to my husband and I went, he's gonna marry him. And to his credit, my husband goes, I know that's awful. He said he loved you. He got me a blanket and got me some tea. And I couldn't watch
deserve you.
I couldn't watch the wedding for a year. I had it on my DVR, and I couldn't watch him get married for a year until I dissolved that character, and she was gone. I could finally watch Crosby get married.
Invested.
See?
Available. Emotionally available. My husband calls me the robot. I mean, it's loving. But I'm not easily affected this way.
That's probably, healthier.
I'm sure I'm affected. I'm just like, okay.
Everybody's got their... Everybody's got their way.
Got our stuff.
Yeah.
Our stuff. Remember the whole therapy thing?
Therapy. Yes.
It's my part-time job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my
I've gotten
goodness.
really good at it. I'm winning therapy. Hi, are we over here?
We're Sam.
Hi.
Courtney. So my
Hi.
question is for the both of y'all. So my question is, if you could bring back, or if Sam and Dean both died, who would you bring back?
Oh.
You can only bring back one though.
And my phone's ringing. You take this one.
No, that's okay. That,
I would choose to die to be with them. Conveniently. I'm already there. There's always trick answers. You can be like, well, I'll pick the one whichever knows a spell to bring the other one back.
no, it's amazing. I'm learning every moment. Same answer. I mean, I only have one child in real life, but if I had two, it would be. But you could never. I could never choose one. No.
Good try. Hi.
Hello. I'm currently a college student in film and TV.
Nice.
I just wanted to know if both of you had any advice for young women going into the same field.
What part?
Acting.
Okay. Okay, listen. So the name of our business is it's the entertainment industry, right? So of course you want to be learning everything that you can, and you want to be going to acting classes and getting constantly improving at your craft every day. Okay? Don't forget that it's this. If you want to be a part of it, it is a business, and I think one of the terrible things that can happen, you know, people come from their town and they come and they say, I've been doing all of the acting, you know, and studying and all, and working on that aspect, but the business aspect, that's what takes them down. That's what'll eat you. That's what chews you up and spits you out. Even to people that have been doing it for years and years, it's painful as an artist to do. You have to have an open heart to do your job, but that is not the only part of the job. So you need to you can help yourself by learning about the other aspects while still, you know, getting good at your craft and improving every day. And one of the most helpful things I ever did was I worked in a casting office. And to see why this person got the part or why this person didn't get the part, and sometimes it wasn't the most talented person that we saw. Sometimes, sometimes it was, but sometimes someone wasn't right for it because it's something they had no control over. And I started learning, okay, so how not to take things personally, how to behave in the room, how not to behave in the room. And just, that's the advice that I would give, is learn about the business, because it is so much that.
It is. There's so much that you go in starry-eyed thinking, well, if I'm the best and I work the hardest, I will succeed.
Oh.
And unfortunately, it's not like being a doctor or a lawyer. It's not quantifiable.
No.
And if you are the best and you work the hardest, you will probably succeed eventually. But it's a game of numbers and perseverance. And the first thing that came into my head when you asked the question was grow a thick skin. Because people will say things to you that are awful.
Awful.
Awful. They're like, well, true. It's like, So?
Things that you
You don't need to hear, but you have to not take it personally because it's not personal to people casting and producers. And to them, it's a business. They need they need an X, a Y, and a Z, and they have the X and the Z, and they need the Y. And even though in a perfect world you're the perfect Y, you don't go with the X and the Z. You're not set. You have to go with somebody else. And for me, what's been helpful is when I get the job. When I don't get the job, it's very easy to be like, well, you know, they needed somebody with dark hair, or they needed someone older or younger, or a man. But when I get the job, it's helpful for me to remember that the same rules apply. It helps me with gratitude. Because it's very easy, like, well, I was the best. And that's not always the case. So it's perseverance and just never saying yes to a lot and being open and willing, but also protecting your heart a little bit.
I just listened to a podcast that was really helpful. Wait, I gotta find it because it was really helpful. It was Olivia Wilde doing a podcast on, oh God.
Write this down.
Wait. Oh, help, where did it go? Oh my God, where did it go? Oh no, guys. No. Okay. It was Off Camera with Sam Jones, and Olivia Wilde did 2 podcasts, which was her most recent one. And she was just talking about being female in the entertainment industry, which is a different experience.
And under really fast evolution right now.
Yeah. And she said one of the things is they kind of, I hear so much commotion.
Yeah, it's coming.
You hear that, like, something for actresses, they make you think that you are more, all actors are fed the BS that they're completely expendable, and they leave us terrified because they're like, you could be, fired or killed at any time, so just shut up and say your lines and be grateful. But it puts you into a fear state, and actresses especially, because they tend to be valued less than the actors, because they're like, oh, she says, oh, we got the guy, so now the movie's real, then we just have to put some actors in it, right? So they make you not fight for your money, or you not fight, for whatever you feel you need to fight for. Ask questions. Because
demand what you're worth.
Demand what you're worth, because you don't want to be difficult because you'll never work again. And it's this fear that they put in you, so it's something you need to be aware of so you can fight against that. But the second thing is, really helped me, was she said, listen, if you don't get the job, you will not cease to exist. And that is something that I held. You will not cease to exist. If you don't get this job, you will not cease to exist.
I think that applies pretty much across the board, right? When we don't get what we want, we don't get the person we have a crush on, or we don't get the job we wanted, or we don't have this opportunity. Like, you keep going, and the next thing you will get, or maybe 3 down the line, or whatever.
That's
but
right.
It's you have to have that core of strength to persevere no matter what you're doing. It's just in an industry like ours, it can be harder.
Because what you're selling is yourself. It's your voice, you are the product, right? So if someone says, I don't like it, you're like, oh, it's me. But in anything, you're right. You said it, in a relationship or at any job. That's the biggest thing, and it's hard for us as humans. Your self-worth has to come from you. It can't be because this person thinks you're pretty, so then you are. Or this job wants to value you, or this guy, Joe fires you from your, Joe hates me, and so now I hate myself. No. It doesn't matter. There's a Joe here going, what? But it can't, that is what will take you down. Your own mind, trying to find validation or your self-worth in other people or in a job, because that's not real. It comes from you. It has to come from you, especially if you're coming into an industry where that's the product. It is you.
One last question, real quick. One more question.
So have y'all ever thought about getting into other parts of film, like directing or something like that?
I have, not directing, but producing. I was adapting a novel with my husband to a screenplay. It ended up kind of, after 2 years of working with this author, he's like, I changed my mind. I know. It's okay. Go, Frankie. I am super bossy by nature, so I think I'd be an excellent producer. I also am good at, my husband says this doesn't exist. I happen to think I'm very good at multitasking. He's like, that's just not a thing. I'm like, it's because you can't do it. So, yes. That.
I am interested in other aspects. My mom produced music videos in the 80s, and I was just this kid. Yeah, very inappropriate environment for a child. But at the time, it was very exciting. I was just sitting, on an Apple box, watching all these things happen. So I love, so many aspects of it. I don't have the vision of a director. Directing is not something that I think I would be. I'm not drawn to that, but I am drawn to other aspects and look forward to exploring those things down the line.
So how was your experience, Courtney? How was this for you?
It's been great.
It's been great. Ladies and gentlemen, Courtney Ford and Samantha Smith.
You and I